not to be spectators. We are here to be engaged and to give worship, honor, and praise to a God has been patient, kind, forgiving, merciful to us time after time. He takes our messes and works them together and makes miracles. We love you tonight, Lord God. In your name we pray. Amen. How you feeling, Seattle? You really excited to worship tonight with Kirk Franklin in Mountain City? Let's go. My name is Anthony Evans. I am from not too far from here. Well, actually, it's really far. Thanks, Seattle. Nice. Y'all are really nice. Sam, you gotta keep playing the piano. It makes you feel more spiritual when you play. Stop and get your weird. Don't take breaks. Night just started. Just feels better, right? I'm gonna take a break, like what? Right there. Anyway, my name is Anthony Evans. I'm so glad to be with y'all. I'm a preacher's kid from Dallas, Texas. We got the preacher's kids in the house tonight. There's a lot of y'all. Gotta get there, Chris, if you need her. For real. Just got off the phone, Chris. We're great. She helps. I normally am on the road with my dad. His name's Dr. Tony Evans. He's out of Dallas, Texas. I love my dad so much. I'm either out with my dad or my sister. Her name is Priscilla Shire. We get to do a whole bunch of stuff together. Why are y'all so nice? Is it the weather? Like, what's up? Y'all haven't been in Texas. What's a little bit today? Now, I'm an emo guy. I've been leading worship for the last 20-something years all over it, and I'm an emotional guy. I look like a linebacker, but some days I have the emotions of a ballerina, whatever. It works for worship, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's great. I can feel things. But there was a time in my life, you didn't ask, but I got a microphone in your ears. Just give me a second. There was a time in my life where I was a mess. I was a wreck. I was a wreck. When I tell y'all, it was crazy what was going on in my life off the stage. But I was getting on stage to sing songs about how it is well with my soul. And I felt like a maniac. I really felt crazy. I had codependent stuff going on, issues inside of me from childhood I had to mess with, and I was coming out in all these crazy ways in different relationships. I went through a broken engagement, had to get on a plane the next day and go sing about the faithfulness of God to an audience like this. And I was like, this is not gonna work for me. I remember getting up on that stage. I grabbed the microphone, I felt broken, I felt nuts. I grabbed the microphone and pulled it up to my mouth, and I took a breath to sing the first words, and I just said, I don't feel like doing this. And I watched my road manager in the back go, where do we go from here? I made a decision not because I'm extra noble, but because I had a microphone and I was there. I made a decision to worship in spite of the way that I felt. In spite of all the mess that was going on inside of me, I made a decision to worship in spite of the way that I felt. I've never felt God meet me like He did that day. I remember telling the audience all my business. I was telling them everything that was going on in my life, and they were like, yo, this is a lot. We just came to worship. Like, stop. You don't get it. Why are you doing this? After that event was over, I flew home. I flew to Dallas. At that point, I was living in Tennessee. I flew to Dallas to sit down with my dad. I was like, I get it. You're Dr. Tony Evans. You preach to the world. But I need you to preach to your namesake right now because I'm about to turn off the proverbial microphone as related to my faith. Period. I'm done. I can't live like this. I can't feel like I'm getting into character to go on stage and sing songs. I have to get into character to believe this stuff. That's wild to me. So he listened to me talk, and I'm the kid in my family. I'm the emotional kid. He's like, are you done? I'm like, no, another thing. Like, that's me. Anybody else like that? Anybody that see you up there? So he listened to me. He goes, Anthony, okay, are you done? I was like, yes. He said, I understand. I need to tell you two things. I understand you feel left, you feel lost, you feel abandoned, you feel like God has forgotten about you. But what you need to understand is that your feelings do not have intellect. Your feelings cannot think. Your feelings cannot be the engine, they have to be the caboose. You have to bounce your feelings off the truth. And the truth becomes the engine, not your feelings. So he flipped open that ever so familiar Bible I've seen our whole lives, or all of us have seen our whole lives. He flipped it open to Philippians 1:6 and said, this is the truth, whether you feel like it or not. You can be confident in this, that he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. That's the truth, whether you feel like it or not. He said, let me talk to you about something else. Let me talk to you about football, which my dad is always going to figure out a way to talk about football. Growing up, he was a chaplain for the Cowboys my whole life, so he just is going to want to talk about football. And I said, what's this have to do with feelings? Football got nothing to do with feelings. But, okay. He said, listen to me. What would happen happen if I took you to a Cowboys game and after we did all the parking, tickets, concessions, it's hours to get to your seat. After you got to your seat, how would you feel if the first whistle blew and the team just huddled for 3 hours? They never left the huddle. How would you feel? I was like, Dad, what are you talking about? I don't want to be who would want to be in a game where the team huddles the whole time? I don't want to be at that game. He said, Anthony, how else would you feel? Tell me how you would feel. I was like, I would want to leave. I would not understand why this team would just sit there and huddle. We did not come to see a huddle. And he said, tell me, and he asked me again, he said, Anthony, tell me how you would feel. And I was like, yo, drinks are for kids. Like, what's the bottom line? I don't understand what's happening right now. My dad said, Anthony, the reason why you feel dead to your faith, the reason why you want to leave the game of your faith, this moment in your life you want to leave is because you know the coach very well, you know the plays very well, but you are doing nothing outside of the huddle on the field of your life, so you do not know what it feels like to win as related to your faith. You can probably quote me 200 Bible verses right now sitting here. You go and you sing to huddles all your whole life. That's what you do. But you do nothing outside of it. And that's why you're done. So it's up to you. Are you going to do something with the knowledge that you have? And experience what it feels like to win with that knowledge? And I was like, dang, that's what I get for having Tony Evans as a dad. I should have asked. Just like pray with me for a second. I don't understand what all these life lessons. I was excited though. I left that meeting with my dad and flew to Nashville. Well, first of all, let me say this. Y'all look so good. I have ADD, so while I'm talking to y'all, my brain's like squirrel the whole time. So I just gotta say, y'all look like a big bag of Skittles, Seattle. I feel like all the colors of the rainbow here, and Seattle is Seattle what heaven's gonna look like? I feel like Seattle may be a little bit what heaven's gonna look like. Okay, we're focused, we're back. I flew back to Nashville after that meeting with my dad, and I sat down with a friend of mine whose name is Ben Green, and I was excited. I was telling him everything I just told y'all. Emotions don't have any, like, I gotta do stuff outside the huddle, all this stuff. And Ben was looking at me while I was telling him what I just told y'all, and he was going, kept doing that the whole time. He just kept going. I was like, what's wrong with your dad? I don't understand what's going on, Ben. And he said, Anthony, you are sitting here talking to me about doing stuff outside of the huddle, getting outside of your emotions, and you know what I do. You were one of my best friends. You have watched what I do for all these years. So how are you talking to me about this and we're not doing it? I don't understand. I was like, oh, I wasn't thinking about what you do at this moment, Ben, but I get it. Ben works for an organization called Food for the Hungry. But I was like, Ben, I'm not sponsoring no kid because I don't believe you're actually doing what you say you're doing in these kids' lives. Sorry, I never told you that. But I got trust issues. I'll talk to my therapist later about that. That's like, nah, we're not going to play that game. My brain was like, the president of your organization probably drives a Ferrari and lives in Mountain View, Ben. That's how I really feel. But he was like, yo, you know me. So just come with me to the office. You're talking about doing something outside of the huddle. Come with me to the office. So I did. I went with Ben to the office and I was looking around like, oh, these kids are real. You know, I had a moment of like, they may be really doing what they say. So I spent the day with him and I actually got to see that this was actually real and it was happening. I did everything but go through the president's drawers. I'm a skeptic. I got issues. At the end of the day, though, I was ready because I knew Ben was going to say to me, do you want to sponsor a kid? I've been in Christian events my whole life. I knew what was coming. And I had the perfect rebuttal. I was ready. Ben said, sure enough, I walked up to me and said, Anthony, this little boy's name is Juan Andre. Do you want to sponsor him? After you've seen the offices all day, you see what we're doing. They're getting what we're telling you they're getting. And I said, Ben, I sponsor this little boy if you take me to meet him. I want to see that he is real. And I thought I had him stumped. I thought Ben would be like, well, we can't do that because this picture represents a bunch of kids that need your help. I thought he'd have some way out, you know what I mean? He said, let me call you back. Let me get with you on that. 2 weeks later, Ben called me and said, pack a bag and come with me, get in the car. Long story short, we flew to Lima, Peru. I landed in Lima. I was actually like, okay, let's see if this little boy's real. Let's see what's up. I got in a van, our bus, drove up this not paved road with no guardrails up this side of this mountain. I was stressed out. I was like, this boy better be so real because I am stressed out. I got up to the top of this hill, jumped out of this van, I jumped out of this bus after an hour and had that picture folder and was like, has anybody seen Juan Andre? And they said, he's not here. And I was like, Ben, you a liar! I mean, I went off because I was like, this is crazy. I've been stressed out for an hour and a half. We flew all the way over here. This little boy's not here. I said, where is this little boy? Where is Juan Andre? They said, he's actually down at the bottom of the hill that you just drove up. why is he down there? We drove over here to this little shanty town with these cinder blocks and tin roofs. It was wild. It was like something from National Geographic, but I was there. That's what it felt like. Why is he down there? And they said, because he woke up this morning and something was wrong with him. We do not know what it is. Where is he going? Sorry, I got ADD. I'm like, security, somebody's doing a thing. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, time to come. So I asked them, why is this little boy at the bottom of this hill? And they said this morning he woke up and something was wrong with him. And his mother took him down to the city because we don't have anything up here to help him. We have nothing. So I was like, yo, we came all this way, let's go down there. Let's go find him. We basically went back an hour and a half down, walked into this place that they call a hospital, that not one of us in this building would ever go in this place as a hospital, I promise. Most of us would take our pets to the place I walked into that they said was a hospital. I walked up to this little boy, and I was like, yo, this is the kid from the pictures. He was not doing well at all. He was laying over his mom's arms, like halfway lifeless, and his mom had this panic look about her. And I will never forget what she said to me in that moment. I said, what is happening, through the interpreter? And she said, I have been here all day hoping that somebody will have mercy on me because I cannot afford to have my son seen. And I was like, wait, what? You just been sitting here, you just came down from this little shanty town, and you're just, can somebody help me? And they keep talking to you about money that you don't have, so they're not helping you. This is crazy. In that moment, all I could think about was that picture folder in my back pocket that I had not filled out because I didn't believe that they were doing what they said. I looked at that little boy, and I grabbed him and was like, we have to go find some place for him to be seen. That's not this. This looks like an animal hospital. We gotta find a place for him to be seen. We went, we found a place. I ran up to the counter through the interpreters, was like, what does it cost to have this little boy seen? Y'all don't see his mom like freaking out all day long? I don't understand. What's going on? They said, through the interpreter, they said, Mr. Evans, it'll be $45 to have him seen. I was like, what did you just say? I don't understand. This whole day has been about $45, mind you. When Ben asked me to first sponsor this little boy, that I didn't do, by the way, I had a picture of this boy in my pocket, not filled out, looking at him in the hospital. It messed my whole soul up to see that happening. Right when Ben asked me to sponsor this little boy, it's $45. That's right when gas went up to $4.6 million a gallon, and I was trying to figure out, how am I gonna sponsor a kid? Like, Ben, do you do adult sponsorship? Like, I need a sponsor. Like, that's what life feels like right now. And then because he knows me, he said, look through your credit card receipts, Anthony, see something. There's gonna be something in there repetitive. I promise you there's gonna be something repetitive. Go look through it. So I did. I looked through it, and between 7 and 9 a.m., the whole way across, my whole credit card statement was the same place. All the way across, the whole thing. Stop judging me, I can hear you. Like, girl in Starbucks, girl in mom Starbucks. Like, I'm right here. I have ears. You don't know me. Anyway. So I added up all the times I had gone to Starbucks that month, and I had spent enough money on coffee to sponsor 2 kids. All my ministry meetings, and meetings about songs, and meetings about tour, and meetings about all those meetings, I could have sponsored 2 kids with my coffee money. Y'all, when I tell you I sat in the lobby of that hospital and took 3 minutes to fill out this form, so this little boy will never be in a scenario like this. In addition to that, he will have healthcare and food and education and essentials and disaster relief. All that was happening in this little boy's life. And I could not believe that I had waited this long to do this. I have a very Christian way, being a preacher's kid. Some of you will understand this. Being a preacher's kid, I have tactics. You know what I mean? I have a very Christian way of saying no to people, and I tried it on Ben. Ben was like, Anthony, you should sponsor this little boy. And I said, you know, let me pray about it, Ben. I'm just gonna. Is anybody, I'm the only one. I said that to Ben, and Ben looked me in the face and said, Anthony, James, the 1st chapter commands us to take care of the widow and the orphan. When is it ever okay to pray about a command? Tonight, in just a couple moments, we, here in Seattle, have the opportunity to break this huddle tonight, this Maverick City, Kirk Franklin, Jonathan Reynolds House Fires huddle tonight, and make an impact and create wins in people's lives all over the globe after tonight is over. I know in a room this size there may be people like me who are skeptics, who are like, not me, I'm not doing that. You are me, you are who I was. But I have watched, I have seen what happened. I spent the next 4 days with this little boy, and I've been back 3 times to visit him. I know what's going on. I communicate with him. I get his report cards, which we need to work on, but it's cool to get them. You know, like he knows me and I know him. And it's the most beautiful thing. In just a second, all over this room, don't feel like you're too far from me. Food for the Hungry knows this room is huge and it's hard to get to people. It's hard for people to move around. So they have placed volunteers all over this whole room. You don't have to get out of your seat. We're going to ask you to be bold, to be brave, and to help us break this huddle. And in a room this size, hundreds, if not thousands of kids can be sponsored and their lives changed. In just a second, I'm going to have you raise your hands, ask you to be bold and raise your hands. You're going to get handed a packet that looks just like this. You've maybe seen them before. All you have to do is open this packet. You take this out. There is a tab that you fill out right here. You take 3 minutes to fill this tab out, the same one I filled out in the lobby of that hospital. You tear this off, put it back in the envelope, and you hand it to the person that's standing right in the aisle with these packets and a pen. It's that simple. 7 to 10 business days, this child or a child like them, somebody's son, somebody's daughter will be notified that they have been sponsored and their lives will be changed. Tonight, Seattle, you have an opportunity to change lives. James, the 2nd chapter says faith without works is what? We have an opportunity to turn our faith into works, to break huddle and change lives. On the count of 3, all over this room, don't feel like you're too far. The volunteers are up there. They're everywhere in this room. On the count of 3, if you can help us be bold, be brave, and to change a life, I want you to do that. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, all over this room, Seattle, throw your hands up. We'll make sure you get these, and we'll get them to you. I saw somebody right here. Will you pat your girl? I'll give you a few more. In addition to this, keep your hands raised, we'll get them to you. Just keep them up. The volunteers are all over this room. Here you go, in the pit. Can y'all just pass these around? We'll make sure you get them. There's a bunch of you with your hands up there. Just keep them up, we'll get it to you. No matter how far you are, Food for the Hungry for the very first time is partnering with a domestic ministry. Just keep your hands up, we'll get them to you. We need a bunch of volunteers in the pit if possible. They're partnering with a domestic organization run by Maverick City Music. Maverick City Music Initiative, and you tonight will not only be doing something globally, you'll be doing something domestic through this organization that Chandler's just going to tell you just a little bit about. And we're going to hear some worship here. So keep your hands up all over this room, wherever you are. We'll get them to you.
A lot of hands up. We love y'all, Seattle. Real quick, so we've partnered with Food for the Hungry. We have an initiative called Maverick City Music Initiative, and we work inside the United States of America, and we partner with organizations all over the place. A couple of practical things we do. We're housed in Atlanta, and we have something called a Mav House. So at this Mav House, what we do is we bring in at-risk youth. At-risk youth are kids whose parents are incarcerated, whose kids don't go to the best schools, don't get the best opportunities. So what we do is we basically adopt them, bring them to our little house, and we teach them life skills, do life with them, teach them music, take them on trips. We do a lot of stuff. We also go into the prisons and do writing camps. Our whole Kingdom album that we did with Kirk Franklin was recorded in a prison facility in Miami, Florida.